Good morning, dear Lynn, dear Sarah, dear Lisa, and dear Jim. Wow, the clock has struck 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern. The clock has struck. Boy, we honor that time. Good old Father Time, and he's not even real. We live in a timeless reality. We live in a formless reality. Everything that we think is real and we take for serious, we take it personal. That's what makes it so hard, when none of it is real. And it's such a game in the spirit's mind. I do believe this. He did this divine drama because he's a drama freak. The divine himself or herself is a drama queen, or yeah, a drama queen. Divine Mother, she's a drama queen because she puts the spell on us, right? She puts us asleep in the poppy fields, so to speak. But listen, we have something better to put our minds on when we come together like this, honestly. So all aboard this sacred soul daily meditation, all aboard to the infinite bliss on manifest, all aboard. Here we go again. Yeah. And I have a quote that is from the Bhagavad Gita, but it's not translated by Yogananda. It's translated by someone who Yogananda met, and they both just went into samadhi together. And that's Ramana Maharshi, which you heard me talk about. But he said this because I want us to do some breathing this morning. That is a practice of mine, but I don't think I've ever shared it with you, and I think it's really important because it's part of this journey that we're on. And what it says in the Bhagavad Gita, this chapter 8, that whatever that whatever may be the last thought at death, whatever may be our last thought at death, it determines the later birth of that person. That last thought, imagine, just think of that for a moment. I really have mused on this verse a lot. So whatever is that last thought at death, it determines the later birth that we will have. It is necessary then, because of this truth, Ramana says, it is necessary to experience that reality now in life in order that it may be experienced at death. All right. And then he says, see if this moment can be different from the last moment. So just be with that for a second, my dears. Let's just see if this moment can be different from the one that we just had. And now we have a new moment, right? Now and how do we count? How do we know it's a new moment? We have a new breath coming. And a breath is like a little mini dying. The breath comes in, we have life, that breath goes out, and we die. So we have death. So we have life and death with the inhale, exhale breath. So see if you can make this moment different from the last one and try to be in that desired state that you want at the end of your life. I call it last dying breaths. So if you haven't closed your eyes already, let's do so. And let's just feel that when I say last dying breaths, that the one that's coming in right now is your last one. And let's make it so if it's the last one, I think we have an ace up our sleeves in the sense that we can make this moment right here be as beautiful as we've ever put our consciousness to, as beautiful of a consciousness that we can come up with just this breath in this moment in my heart as I write as an affirmation in just this breath in this moment in my heart with you, beloved. Would that be a nice last breath, my dears? Something like that. Come up with your own. And then on the next breath that comes after that, see if you can up it a little. or at least repeat it with that same kind of like, this is my last breath. How do I want to make that transition? We don't, we have every available means to know exactly how we're going to go across to the other side. But we have so much fear. We don't believe that may be the truth, or whatever are the reasons. But let's just put it to the test right now. Let's just breathe the breath, our last dying breath. That's going to set us up in the highest realms of God's presence imaginable. As Yogananda Ji says, he said, one by one, I shut the door to my senses, lest the fragrance of the rose or the song of the nightingale distract my love from thee. One breath at a time, my dears. Our final breath in honor of a life lived for truth. We're seeing God in everyone, for loving kindness, all those beautiful things that we have practiced and do practice. Each breath in honor of that beautiful self of ours, the soul, who allows us the amazing grace to not be our human side, but our divinity. So one by one, let's shut the door to our senses. And rejoice, my dears. Rejoice. And now let's practice something. Since we put ourselves in, I wouldn't doubt for a second into the highest awareness or consciousness we could by putting ourselves right in that last moment in our lives. And I'm sure each of you reach deep and are feeling the frequency of that one little practice that determines where we go when we leave these bodies. But there's a reason why we did that breath. So continue with it. Because you and I have an opportunity to end the war. To end the war. The war on this planet ends the moment we stop waging war on ourselves. This is much in line with yesterday's stream of our true self, soulmate. How we can really see each other and see ourselves and treat ourselves as dignity, as queen soul, king soul, ruler of ourselves, an enlightened ruler at that. So do you want to change the world with me right now? Start. Or we can say continue that breath. And at the same time, start to soften the voice inside you that tells you you ain't good enough, that you're just not good enough. Let this higher frequency come in and devour that, if that's the case. If you struggle with that, not feeling good enough. And your key to that is to breathe your last dying breath. That will love that particular limitation out of existence. If this breath is in honor of a life well lived for truth. Our second practice is to stop holding judgment, being Judge Judy, Judge Tom, Judge Sarah. And we hold ourselves hostage in that judgment. And it becomes a lens, that we wear when we look at each other. So go to that breath that puts you in that last moment in this body. And the frequency devours any more inclinations that we have to judge. Because we're ending the war today, starting with the war against ourselves. Step 3. Every part of us that we have exiled. I mean, if we're worthless, that's what happens. We send ourselves out to the farm, or one flew over the cuckoo's nest. Every part of us that we've exiled becomes the same energy that we resist in this world. Same energy. Same energy. So have a breath, my dears. A breath, the final one that gives you eternal life. That will take care of any idea of exile. And as you can gather by now, the revolution is not out there, it's in here. What we're focusing on right now. And how we meet our shame, how we hold on to our grief. We mentioned this yesterday. I thought it'd be worthwhile to have a follow up today. This is so important. It's all part of God's drama. It's not our emotion to get hung up on. It's His, it's hers. God is everything that this human is, and then some. So let's put it on the high frequency. Put it on high, my dears. And let God take the burden. And let me ask you this, whether or not you believe that your softness, your sweetness, your kindness, let me just ask you this, is it still sacred when no one's watching? Receive a big sacred breath. So you can affirm, yes, it is still sacred. We cannot build peace while in an internal war. We cannot offer safety for ourselves, our families, our friends, our world when we abandon our own body and reject it, resist it, make it wrong. And we cannot teach love through self-rejection. But here's something to breathe But when we choose to love ourselves, when we choose to love ourselves truly, truly, that we can't do wrong. We never had done wrong. We have never even sinned. We're an immortal soul. But let's choose love truly, radically, relentlessly, so we can become, excuse me, so we can become the frequency of peace. And as our soul brother Rumi once said, when you feel a peaceful joy, let's feel a peaceful joy come over us right now. Because when we feel it, when we imagine it, he says that's when we are the nearest and the dearest to truth. When we feel a peaceful joy. And when we're in this frequency of peace, we dissolve the battlefield. When in the frequency of peace, my dears, this is very good news. We dissolve the battlefield. It's a dream anyway. It's Divine Mother's Maya anyway. But our high peace frequency will dissolve the battlefield and stop recreating the fight. Thank you, soul heroines and soul heroes, for plugging into this morning. The plugging into yourself. Unplug from the judgments. I'm not worthy. And the rejection of yourself and the exile of yourself. Unplug from that and plug straight into the source socket right now. Right now. Because we are souls on a mission right now. And as we dissolve the battlefield, and as we stop recreating the fight, something shifts, not just in you, but in the field around you. Wow. You see how powerful are our last dying breaths that we practiced? It makes us doable. It makes it possible. It makes this non-negotiable. Because we need to end this war against ourselves today, right now. So we shift, not just in us, but we shift the field around us. This is how healing ripples. This is how we create the new earth, my dears, right here this morning. Not by changing everything, not by marching, but go ahead if you want to, but by loving what we were told to hate. Now we can do that. We can love what we were told to hate, that maybe we keep telling ourselves we hate. Can't get it out of our system. It's stuck there. Because the most powerful activism you will ever do, that we can ever do, is a highlight quote. The most powerful activism we could ever do is learning to befriend the parts of ourselves we thought disqualified us from love. Can I read that again for us? The most powerful activism, if you want to be active and get out and change this and that, here's the answer to that. The most powerful activism you will ever do is learning to befriend the parts of yourself you thought disqualified you from love itself. A few last dying breaths for that to top even the high frequency you are in. Let's keep going. Let's get this frequency of peace solidified, anchored in us. And here's the final thought. Because the moment we befriend the parts of ourselves that we thought disqualified us from love, and we now make love our highest priority, this is what happens. The moment we do that, we become safe with ourselves. The war ends. There is a unconditional surrender. And you become safe within yourself and become a sanctuary, not only for yourself, a sanctuary, an asylum, a divine asylum. You become a sanctuary for yourself and our world. We live now in a sanctuary with our brothers and sisters. Every creature, great and small, every inanimate object. We now live in a sanctuary of love and peace. United as one. There's only peace now that reigns, heaven above and earth below. Om Shanti Shanti Om. Om Shanti Shanti Om. Oh, our most beautiful love. Oh, our most beautiful love. Om Shanti Shanti Om. We live in a sanctuary of love and peace. Om Shanti Shanti Om. Om Shanti Shanti Om. Oh, most beautiful love. Oh, our most beautiful love. We live in this sanctuary with you. We have never really left, nor have you ever, not been us. We are ever united in peace. So we thank you once again for marveling us with some very special soul news that I think we all could resonate with this morning, because in some ways it's a direct message. Let's direct message these meditations. God's saying these are direct messages coming from the source within you, within us. So we are so grateful to have this attunement and this alignment. And thank you for empowering us, daring us, as it were, to go ahead and end this war today. We took up the challenge, and so it made this so. And because we made this so, so be it. And so it is. Aho. Namaste. Now let's play. Aho. Oh, right, Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Autumn. Cannot thank each of you enough, Ellen, Cami, Lynn.
It's hard to come out of that one. Ooh.
Yeah. Good. Stay there. Stay there. Be still and know that you are a goddess. Yeah. Through and through. All right. So maybe we'll just close so we can all hold on unconditionally to that which ends war completely. Woohoo. Mwah. Love you all. You ready? We love, we care, and we super share. Nice. Namaste, dear ones. Thank you so much, beautiful souls. Have a glorious, glorious rest of your day.
Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome. You're so welcome, everybody.